I remember the day they turned their backs on me. It was a brisk autumn evening, the kind where the wind whispers secrets, but no one cares to listen. I stood at the family dinner table, trembling with the weight of my discoveries, my heart pounding like a drum in a funeral procession. I had just been fired from my job as a soil scientist, and not for lack of skill, but for my conviction. Follow the smell, I had pleaded, my voice breaking. It's toxic. I can feel it in my bones. But the table erupted in laughter, a cacophony of scorn that echoed against the cold, tiled walls. You've lost your mind, haven't you? My brother spat, his voice thick with condescension. What's next? You'll be telling us the earth is haunted? My mother's eyes glinted with disappointment, her silent accusation cutting deeper than any words could. This obsession, it's unhealthy, she whispered, as if saying it aloud would ward off whatever dark ghoul she thought had possessed me. My father, ever the pragmatist, merely shook his head, the weight of familial disgrace hanging heavy in the air. They told me I'd disgrace the family name, and I had to concede I was the disgrace, a soul banished to the outer realms of sanity. Yet I couldn't let it go. I felt it in my very core, this invisible force tugging at me, a scent lingering just out of reach, promising revelations that slipped through my fingers like smoke. Years passed, years submerged in the depths of forgotten archives, abandoned buildings, and cursed territories. I became a pariah, an exile driven not only by the desire for knowledge, but by a relentless need to prove them wrong. I immersed myself in the world of paranormal olfactology, mapping out haunted grounds, collecting soil samples, and documenting the inexplicable scents that whispered of tragedies long buried. My colleagues, once allies, turned into shadows of mockery, yet with every mocking word, my resolve only solidified. I delved deeper into the earth, following the trails of the phantoms that lingered beneath the surface. I encountered the faint, acrid odor of despair in the soil of abandoned asylums and the sickly sweet scent of sorrow wafting from forgotten graveyards. Each encounter pulled me further into the abyss, a thrilling descent into a world few dared to acknowledge. I unraveled the threads of the unseen, weaving them into a tapestry of truths that teetered on the brink of madness. And now, after years of bitter solitude, I was returning home not as the disgraced daughter, but as a beacon of forbidden knowledge. The world had begun to recognize the terrors I had unearthed, my research igniting debates and fear across scientific communities. No longer was I the fool. They now feared what I had uncovered. As I stepped through the door of my childhood home, an uneasy silence enveloped me. The scent of polished wood and stale memories hit me like a tidal wave. My family stood gathered in the living room, their expressions a mix of surprise and hesitation. I can't believe you actually came back, my sister murmured, her eyes darting away, unwilling to meet the weight of my gaze. Let's talk, I said, my voice steady, but my heart raced as I felt the ghosts of my past creeping closer. I unveiled my findings, the scents I had cataloged, and the horrors they represented. I shared stories of hauntings and the grotesque manifestations of grief that lingered in the soil. I could see their skepticism harden into an icy barrier, but I pressed on, knowing that no one could dismiss the truths I had faced. You think it's insane? Just wait, I urged, the urgency in my voice thick with desperation. Then I produced a jar, its glass foggy with the remnants of my last expedition, a sample taken from a burial mound long thought cursed. You want proof? I pushed the jar towards them, my pulse quickening as I twisted the lid open. The air thickened with a foreign scent, an overwhelming blend of rot and nostalgia. It was horrific and beautiful, like the last breath of a dying world. "What the hell is that?" My brother recoiled, his face twisting in disgust. Suddenly, the room plunged into darkness, and a chilling wind gusted through the house, rattling the windows. The scent morphed into something alive, something vengeful. Shadows danced along the walls, and the air crackled with a malevolent energy. The ground beneath us trembled, the very foundation of our home shattering under the weight of the unacknowledged. "Mom!" someone screamed, but it was too late. The unseen horrors I had unearthed